When a person has serious, complex trauma, especially sexual violence, their brain and body do not work the same way as someone without that history. Their nervous system has been permanently altered by threat. When they trust someone enough to disclose what their triggers are, what makes their body relive the rape, what sends them into flashbacks, they are not just sharing information. They are handing over the keys to their nervous system. What happens in the moment that it's deliberately used against them? When that person intentionally uses that information to re-traumatize them, the brain does not experience it as cruel behavior or emotional harm. The brain experiences it as the rape happening again. And here's why. The trauma brain does not store memory as past. It stores it as present time sensory threat. The moment the trigger is activated on purpose, the amygdala, which is the threat detector, fires instantly. The prefrontal cortex, which is logic, language, and reasoning, goes offline. The hippocampus, time and memory, fails to tag it as now, not then. The brain cannot tell this is someone hurting me psychologically from I am being raped again. So the body responds exactly as it did during the assault. What the nervous system does, the autonomic nervous system slams into survival mode. Fight, panic, rage, screaming, thrashing. Flight, desperate urge to escape. Freeze, immobility, dissociation, collapse. Fawn, appeasing, begging, compliance. This is not choice, it is reflex. Stress hormones flood the body. Cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline, heart rate spikes, breathing becomes shallow or erratic, blood is diverted away from digestion and reasoning to muscles. Pain pathways, terror, memory, all activate together. The person is no longer upset, they are neurologically hijacked. And what happens psychologically in that moment? Because the trigger was used by someone they trusted, the brain also processes betrayal, entrapment, powerlessness, intentional harm. This mirrors the original rape dynamic. Trust violated, consent ignored, vulnerability exploited, control taken. That parallel makes the re-traumatization deeper than the original memory. After the moment passes, the damage does not stop. Even when the immediate episode ends, the nervous system does not reset. It stays stuck in high alert, and this causes nervous system fallout, hypervigilance, startle responses, inability to relax or feel safe, sleep disruption, nightmares, flashbacks. The brain gets affected, reduced concentration, memory fragmentation, language lost during stress, emotional numbness alternating with overwhelm, trust and attachment is damaged, collapse of trust in others, collapse of trust in self. How could I trust these people? Withdrawal, isolation, fear of disclosure again. This is especially severe because the harm came from disclosure itself. The brain learns that telling the truth gets me hurt. That belief embeds as a survival level, not a cognitive one. Then there's the somatic and physical symptoms, because trauma lives in the body, not just the mind. common flare-ups. Gastrointestinal pain, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, muscle spasms, muscle pain, neuropathy flares, head pressure, brain zaps, immune crashes, fatigue, insomnia, shutdown. These are not stress symptoms. They are nervous system injuries expressing physically. The domino effect just goes on in the healing and recovery. One intentional re-traumatization can undo months or years of healing, because recovery depends on safety, trust, nervous system regulation, and gradual exposure with consent. When re-traumatization is deliberate, safety is shattered, trust is poisoned, the nervous system regresses, and progress collapses. That person can lose the coping capacity, emotional regulation, functional stability, and confidence in recovery itself. They are not back to square one. They are often worse than before. Using someone's disclosed trauma triggers against them is not just mean. It's evil and sadistic. Neurologically, it is reenacting the assault inside their body. And having that knowledge, you may as well have raped them yourself. The brain does not register intent as metaphor. It registers it as threat, violation, and real in the moment. That is why reactions look extreme. That is why damage is widespread. And that is why the effects last long after the moment ends. That's why I am now still being raped over and over again since Friday. It was intentional. It was the intention to do that to me, and the court had all the information and still allowed it. As far as my nervous system is concerned, Jesse raped my nervous system, and the court just sat there assisting him.